Yes, royal family, blessed Lord, we give thanks for your presence with us. Glorify the life giver and the keeper of life and bride, Selassie the First. We welcome you to the Tiger's Nest. Yes, a beautiful, wonderful evening after Sabbath edition. And we're going to go into a beautiful, beautiful program this evening. We have the good brother Seifa Selassie on standby coming in right now, sitting here with us, and we will be speaking about the ancient Ark of the Covenant, the true Ark of the Covenant. So before I introduce the good brother, let us just get a quick word from this angle here. Yes, royal family, let's prepare. What is the story behind the Queen of Sheba? What is the truth behind her visit to the great King Solomon? The Ark of the Covenant and the Covernant of Gods. Prepare for an intriguing look at the true history of the Kingdom of Aksum, Lalibela, and the Ark of the Covenant. Join us on the afternoon of Sunday, the 24th day of March, 3 p.m. Eastern Caribbean Time, for the very timely lecture entitled Sheba, Aksum, and the Ark. Admission to this lecture only $20. $15 before the 13th of March. To register and get your online ticket, visit the website priestisaacinstitute.com or email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Be there. Yes, family, give thanks for such a meditation at this moment. And we're going to have a beautiful program this evening. But hey, Sheba, Aksum, and the Ark, that's the 24th day of March. And this evening, we're going to be speaking about the Ark. I will definitely be in the student seat tonight. And I will see if this presentation, let's just say, if it alters my presentation in any way for the upcoming Sunday. But hey, family, before I go into it, let me just remind you that it is here tomorrow afternoon, the International Homeschool Program Enrollment Party. Remember, this is live and direct. I hope you would have already registered. Remember, registration is free. I mean, this is the time when you come together with the family, with the young ones, bring the pets as well. I'm sure we're going to have something for them. We're going to have live activities. Obviously, we will be showing you exactly how you can enroll into the brand new International Homeschool Program, biology classes, math classes, general science and general knowledge classes, astronomy, and I'm talking about, of course, African history and heritage. So as you're listening to this now, you can register priestisaacinstitute.com. Visit the website priestisaacinstitute.com. Register for free. You will receive a free educational package just for registering, even if you don't come. How about that? I'm actually giving you a little advice here, even if you don't come. You'll still get the package for registering. And of course, those who will enroll tomorrow, we'll have a special offer for you. You're going to love the program, family. It's going to be very helpful for your children, very helpful for the family, entertaining, and of course, edifying. Those who enroll tomorrow will be also getting a very, very special gift for enrolling. So also, you can email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com, and you can register from there. But as I said, family, we definitely have, of course, our good brother Rasta Roundtable with us, King Seifa Selassie, and of course, representing Rastafari, representing the Theological ancient Rastafari Orthodox Church as well, as he also would have showed and shared with us, a deacon within such an establishment. And the good brother, as always, would have been following up on the works that we are doing. And I know he is definitely an activist for scholarly presentations. And as we are looking to bring forth the Sheba, the Aksum, and the Ark presentation, the good brother decided that he surely wanted to bring to the university a presentation tonight as it relates to the Ark of the Covenant. Now, I would have been privy to a glimpse of this presentation, and I'm advising everyone, get comfortable, share the link, let someone know what you're listening to. You are going to definitely be, you'll be definitely filled tonight, and you want someone else to get a full in. So contact someone, let them know you need to listen to this, the Tiger's Nest. Press the thumbs up button, do everything you got to do so you can assist the word to get around. Blessed Lord, Ras Seifa Selassie, the sword of the Holy Trinity. Give thanks, my Lord, give thanks.
Yes, beloved. Yes, beloved Honorable Priest Isaac, give thanks for the invitation. Give thanks for the subject to bring forward this great history of the Queen of Sheba and the Ark of the Covenant. It's very important. I come forward with the African perspective of history, even though I deal with the biblical sense of the Ark of the Covenant. We know that the Bible is, as we know it, is not older than 300 BC, even though there is a book of Isaiah which is dated to around 800 BC, according to the textual analysis. And then there's the book of Ezekiel to around 500 and something BC, according to the textual analysis and the history. But according to the Ark of the Covenant, well, as we know, Ethiopia is the fount of civilization going down into Kemet. So they have obelisk too. And there's a fallen obelisk in Axum, which is stated to be the Ark of the Covenant. So in getting to understand that, we had to give it some investigation, So what we find is that Western interpretation of history says that Axum is no older than 2nd century BC, around that time. Well, there are kings in the Ethiopian king list up in the 9th century BC called Axume. So I would assume that there must be some form of relationship between Axume and the city of Axum. And then there's an Axume II, a period later. So, and this is way 500 to 700 years prior to when the Europeans are telling us that Axum was a thriving city. So I would like to come forward with some history.
You're already the host as well.
And some science, some mathematical science concerning the Ark of the Covenant. For when we now display it, you will see that it's not anything like the biblical depiction. Now, that's not saying that the biblical depiction didn't happen, but I don't know how to explain this obelisk otherwise. So I would like to share these images that I have and bring out some information concerning it. So, Honorable Priest, do I have to share?
Yes, your host already.
Okay. I'm going to share then. Give thanks.
That's it.
Is it clear? Can you see?
Yes, you're clear. I'm looking at the Sphinx. The Sphinx, like an article here.
Okay, you're looking at a Sphinx. Okay, let's see.
It says here.
Right. Can you see a picture of the Ark of the Covenant?
Yes, that's the Ark of the Covenant. And looking at it looks like a fallen obelisk.
Yes, it's a fallen obelisk, but that is according to the images. This is the Ark of the Covenant.
Oh, okay.
So this looks to me like a ship, to be truthful. It looks like the shape of a ship, and there on it is a triangle and then there are two squares in there. So I would say there we have the actual foundation of the architecture of how the Ethiopian churches are made, because there's the Holy of Holies, which would be this triangle as the ark, and then there is the Kiddist, which is the inner sanctuary, and then there is the Katira, which is the outer sanctuary. So, you know, basically we can see a structure of Ethiopian worship in this obelisk. So what I would do also now, just to confirm what I was saying about the kings of Ethiopia. Right. What I would confirm
I'm seeing
about
the tribe of prosperity and Abraham and Ori. So just let me know what I'm looking at. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, but I need to move this thing here. It's in the way of my. Let me see. Right. So I just want to show you the Axome. I'll get this out of the way. It seems to be blocking my thing.
Yes, you have some good chronology here. We definitely will be highlighting some of this on Sunday as well. I'm loving very much what I'm seeing here. Yes, my brother. For those who are just coming in, this is Ras Seifa Selassie, of course, our very own, and giving us some historical rundown on the true Ark of the Covenant. I'm sure many were surprised when you said that fallen obelisk is the Ark, but we're listening, and I'm looking at.
Yeah, well, that's I didn't make that to be the ark. It's what is you know, that is on that image. They say that is the Ark of the Covenant, fallen obelisk of the Ark of the Covenant in Axum. So what I wanted to do, oh dear, this bottom screen is getting in my way of the is getting in the way. Right, I just want to show you before Christ, 780 BC. This thing is going to play us. You know the thing on, right, let me see. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
Dynasty of Menelik the First.
Yeah, Dynasty of Menelik the First. Now, this is His Majesty. In His Majesty's constitution, he says that he is descendant from Dynasty of Menelik the First. And you see there at 800 and 765, there's at 765, Axume Warada Sahai. Axume Warada Hasei. That's the 8th century BC. Now, the Europeans are telling us that there was no Axum before the 2nd century BC. Well, there we see, and this is the 8th century BC. Axume Warada. Yes. And there's another one, look here, 879. That's the 9th century. Axume Ramisu. Now, that's very interesting. Ramisu, like Ramesses. You know, it's a very, very similar name to Ramesses there. Axume Ramisu. So that is 879 BC. So that is just to make a point of clarification that that is the clarification of the fact that the Western story of Axum being so late in history is questionable. And this being the Ark of the Covenant is questionable. So now, this brings us to the Shabaka Stone. Now, the Shabaka Stone, as the item of heard I speak of many times, this is the Shabaka Stone. This is a picture of it. This is a come off of the library, and this is where I have actually measured it and deciphered it. And you can see here this Shabaka Stone. I'll show you the proper image of the Shabaka Stone first, so you know that this is what we're dealing with. I can show you the image of the Shabaka Stone.
Where we seeing it, you know?
Right.
we're looking at well, I don't know if it's a different one. It looks like an actual picture.
Yeah, that is a picture, but I'm going to show you the actual stone, right?
Yeah.
The actual stone is here. I'll show it to the IDM.
And any questions ones have, you could put it in the
Right.
chat.
This is
Mhm.
the Shabaka Stone, which is in the British Library, British Museum. This is the back image of it. This is the oldest creation story in the world. When Niga Shabaka 750 BC, which is in the time of this Ark of the Covenant, by the way, you know, it's after he came after this Ark of the Covenant was or Axume, I would say. He's come after Axume. They're both Axumes. He's a king after them. He found an old manuscript, and it was tattered and torn, so it made out on a leather skin, and he put it onto this stone. This is the Shabaka stone, and you see the Shabaka stone has got 11 ribs. If you can measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 ribs, and here is the same, but on here is the hieroglyphic story of creation, or the story of Ptah and Atum, the father and son. So this is the origin of the Shabaka stone. So, or that is the Shabaka stone. That's the origin of it, where it came around. So how that is linked to the Ark of the Covenant is by. So this is where I made measurement of it. I took this image off of the British Library, the British Museum. I drew it on my computer screen. I started drawing the lines in it, and you can see that I used the geometry to actually work this out. So you can see each one of these ribs has actually got two sides. You know, it's got one side, two sides, and a flat. So it's got three. It's actually got three measurements, because it's 30, even though it's 11, it's 33 because it's got three measurements. So I started to measure it. And that's just a general thing. And also where it is this here now, you see there's three lines going through the center. There's the top line measures the bottom. This is the southern hemisphere. The top line measures the southern hemisphere. So this is why you would see that Upper Egypt is called upper, because the measurement of the line of the equator is the upper line. And then the Lower Egypt, which is the lower line on the center of the earth, measures the northern region. So this is where you get Upper and Lower Egypt to do with this Shabaka stone. But it's where these are positioned in the geometry. That's my position on that. So I will pass that down. So from there, I then took the Shabaka stone, those two images of the Shabaka stone, and if I bring it up,
Pardon me, my brother. You could make that screen bigger. Just put it on that big screen. Yeah.
Yes,
My Lord.
yes. So now this is the same Shabaka stone, the same ribs on the Shabaka stone, and I've measured them, and then I've made the geometry. Now that triangle in the triangle in here, if I make this one smaller, the triangle in here, can I move that? Let me see if I can move that triangle. The boats, right.
I'm just conversing with the chat.
Yes. Right. You see now this triangle here is this triangle here, and I have the measurements of it, right? This is the geometry of this is the Shabaka stone, the rear of the Shabaka stone, which is carrying the story. This is the geometry which I have gleaned from it, and it is the equivalent to this. So with that, I've been able to bring it to a mathematical a mathematical treatise.
But before you change that picture, sorry to interrupt you. I hope the family see what you're just highlighting because it's clear as
Yeah,
crystal.
the triangle here,
Mm-hmm.
which they're saying is the Ark of the Covenant.
Right.
This is the equivalent of it here. You see, this arc here, the triangle here is the triangle here. So this is giving the measurements of that. This is from the Shabaka Stone. So what I want to show you now is the mathematics. I've got a mathematical paper which I've put the geometry. Oh, that's the rotor square. Sorry, wrong one. Okay. Let me show you this one then. Right. Now, this is the mathematics of, here is the mathematics of that triangle, which is this, right? Now, this mathematics here is, you see along here, this is this measurement along here, where this line dissects the arc of the circle. You see there's a number there, 70. So here it is, look, 70, right? You see it there, 70. And then this measurement of angles, which is around here, which is dissecting this arc, it comes to 80, degrees, right? Yes. So 70 times 80 gives us 5,600. And then on this side, there is 72.5. This number here is 72.5, and it gives us the arc of this here. And this arc is 96 degrees. So now, this is what they call an integer. And this is the arc. An integer is something which is drawn out from under, a measurement which is drawn out from under the arc. It's called an integer. So that is what we have.
What you call it?
An integer, integer.
Oh, integer. Okay.
And more than one integer is called integrally. Now, when Archbishop Yesak wrote his book, the Ethiopian Tewahedo Church, an integrally African church. Integrally is a measurement of more than one integer. So we have there the scientific basis of what the word being used by the Archbishop Yesak in the book of Ethiopian Orthodox Church, or it doesn't, the Ethiopian Tewahedo Church. He doesn't say Orthodox Church. He says Tewahedo Church. He doesn't say Orthodox. He says the Ethiopian Tewahedo Church. And this is the integers. He says it's an integrally African church. And this is the integrally African measurements which come from the African king, Negus Shabaka II. So we have here the mathematics which comes from it. So these integers doing the mathematics here, what I've done, I've taken the length of the distance between the arc and the distance and the measurement of the arc. That's given me 5,600. I multiplied them together. Then I've took the length of the other integer, which dissects the arch, and it's 96 degrees, and it's 96 length and 72.5 degrees. So then I've added those together, and it gives us 1,360. Now, if we go back to the picture of the image of the geometry, you see it's 70 and 72.5. Oh, right. Hold on. This is this one. This is this one. This is this one. Right now. Oh, that's this one. Right. This is the one that I'm dealing with here. Right. This is the one.
This is definitely not for the faint at heart, eh?
Yeah. So what this one gives us is the two sides of the triangle. Now this one, if we had them together, it gives us 1360. And now the let me get that. The difference on the right, let's get that up again. The distance along here is 100. This is along here. You see, this is 100 centimeters, right? This is 72.5. This is 96. This is 70. This is 100. So if we add that 100, if we add the 100 to the 1360, we get 1460, which is the length of the Sothic cycle, right?
I see clear.
Right. So we get the length of, we get the length of the Sothic cycle. Now, if we multiply, because we're dealing with two halves of a circle, right? If we multiply that 1360 by 2, we get 2,720. Now, 2,720 is when they say that the Ethiopian calendar began, 2,700 BC. So we have the date of the beginning of the Ethiopian calendar here, 2,270, right?
That's my number there.
Now also, with those numbers, with these numbers, if we multiply them together, this 5,600 and 6,960, we get 38,976, 38,976,000. But we know that one day is 1,000 years with the Lord. So if we divide that by 1,000, we bring it down into terrestrial time, which gives us 38,976 years. That 38,976 years is 26,000 approximately and half, 1.5 times. So we've actually, this is the length of a time and a half. When they're talking in the time of Daniel, times and times and times and a half, a time and a half is the time and a half of a great year, is 38,976,000. 38,976 if it is divided by 1,000. That's how we've got it. So this is how we're getting all of these measurements, which come from, which are used in the science of the Bible and the science of the cycles, because we know that the lunar cycle takes 19 years, right? A lunar cycle takes 19 years. Well, we find here, right, that if we take right, so okay, let's go back again. So we've got 38,976 is a time and a half. That is 26,000 years approximately, and 13,000 years, because we're just under 39,000 years, right? We're just 14 off of 39,000. Yeah. So now if we divide that by the power of the Trinity, because we're dealing with the power of the Trinity, dealing with this Shabaka stone, if we divide that by the power of the Trinity, it gives us 12,992. So we've got a time and a half being 3 equal divisions of 12,992. So that is a time and a half. So now if we're going to bring that now to a great year, that would be 2 measures of the 12,902. It gives us 25,984. 25,984 divided by 4, because we've got 4 quarters of the earth, gives us 6,496. Now, this is just where it's giving us the times of the great year. So if we take 25,984, which we got, that's 2 times, 2 halves of this, of 2/3, 2/3 of that gives us 25,984. If we then divide 25,984 by the 1,360, because that's the two halves there, it gives us 19.1 cycles. Well, that is what is called in ancient Kemet. You'll read about the Henna cycle, the Henny or the Henna cycle. You can read about it in the Gerald Massey. You know, he would tell you about the Henny cycle. It's a 19.1 year cycle, and it is a lunar cycle. That is how long the moon takes to do before it repeats its cycle again. 19.1 years. And then there's the Metonic cycle, which is the Greeks, where the Greeks say that the length of this cycle, and they say it is 19.458. Well, it is 0.458, but it's longer, isn't it? If it's 0.458 and this is 19.1, you know, it's like it's 300.358 larger than this cycle, this accurate cycle of the Ethiopians. So that's just, you know, that's just the basis of it. But I don't want to go too deep into it, but I just want to show you now how
too deep. You don't go deep, man.
Well, I don't want to keep. I don't want to make it too. I don't want to make it too long. I don't want to make it too long. You know, if I make it too deep, it's too long. So I'm trying to break down the length of it. So with these things now, we have another measurement on this. We have another measurement on here on the Shabaka Stone, which I'm going to show you. There's another measurement, which is what is the mastaba in Kemet. You know what Imhotep, what he built was the mastaba, right? Let me show you the picture of the mastaba.
And for what I see, those people in the chat, I mean, we could have a little more thumbs up than that. So I'm just asking.
But you see here now. Here is, look, this is an oblong. This is a triangle, and this is an oblong. Here, look, there's a line going across there, a line coming down there, a line coming down there, and it would go up there too. That is a mastaba. What was in the complex at Saqqara, in what Imhotep built, right? Is a mastaba. And I just want to show you, I've got a picture of it in the book, which I've brought out. Right, okay. You see, look, this is the mastaba. You see this? This is a mastaba. This is the pyramid, right? This is the pyramid here, the step pyramid of the Saqqara complex. And this is, you see, this is offset. They've measured it there. You see, it's 11 degrees offset, right? This is north, south, and this is 11 degrees offset, as you can see here, right? Because this is a mastaba. Well, if we look back at the picture of what I just showed you, it is offset the same way. You know, like we've actually identified the same thing. You see the mastaba, that is offset there, look, see? And here we have it offset here. It's the same thing. This is the measurement of that. So that is the triangle, and that is the mastaba, which is in the Saqqara complex. Now, this is the Shabaka Stone, which is giving us this information. I'm not making it up. This is the Shabaka Stone, which I've put into geometry, and I'll bring in these numbers out of it. So I
see it, man. I see it clearly. I see it.
But I want to show you, I just want to show you something else.
And let me say this too. I must say that in the chat we have Archie Parana, and he actually put up like a, what do you call it, a glyph, emoji, I don't know, a picture similar if you can see your chat, you see he put up the picture and he
I
says,
can't see the chat.
okay, he says spirit and flesh, and even Brother Ras Psalms Midnight Chime says Tuado meaning mixture. I don't know if that, but that's his. But he said Christ is fully human and is fully God, both in equal measure. Why I thought to bring in that is because what I'm getting from the chat here with that is similar to what you're saying, the balance of spirit and physical, and then the other brother is speaking about fully human and fully God. And interesting, what's his name here? Archie Parana put up a literal picture, like what you have there on the obelisk, the square looking thing like the mastaba, and
Yes.
then the triangle that looks like the angle on top. So
Yeah.
the point is, those who are listening obviously are understanding what you're saying.
Yes, sir. Give
Very.
thanks. And you see this now. I've made this smaller, but you see now that is the mastaba, and you see this is 11 degrees here. You see they've got 11 degrees. It's
Yes.
offset 11 degrees. The mastaba.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yes, positive.
Right. Well, this is 2650 BC, right? Well, the Shabaka stone is much older than that. So the Shabaka stone has turned this whole thing around by 90 degrees. It's because it's further back in time. So this 11 degrees is turning round to the 90 degrees. And here it is. Look, this is the Shabaka stone. See the 11 degrees? Let me make it a bit bigger. Right?
Yeah, right.
You see, let me make this bigger.
Yeah, you came back in there.
Right. You see that's 11 degrees?
I see anyhow you had it a while ago. Side clear, you're not easy.
Yeah. Okay, we've actually recreated
Wow.
Shabaka's,
Well, yeah,
you know,
but that's deep. So yeah, no, that's deep. That's deep. And so you're showing it on the Shabaka Stone, plus you're
yeah,
showing it on the
yeah,
Saqqara
yes,
um
the Saqqara complex.
overview complex, and
Yes,
then the max itself.
because what the Saqqara complex is a measurement of the sidereal movements and the solar movements of the sun. You know,
Okay.
that's the measurements of the stars and the moon, the stars and the sun. You know,
Okay.
this is not the measurement of the moon and the stars. This is the measurement of the stars and the sun, right? So you see, so I'm getting the same measurements to what they've got here. This is who they call Imhotep. You know, the brother who's done this work here is Imhotep, and we've got the same work here as Imhotep. But this is way back in time. This is much earlier in time than Imhotep. That's why it is 90 degrees round. You see that 11 degrees is on the vertical, and this on the horizontal. Yeah, on the vertical, and this is on the horizontal because it's 90 degrees before. You know, this is the power of the Trinity. This is before the quadrennial measurements. And then on this side of this here is 12 degrees. This one is 12 degrees. You see, that's 11 degrees, that's 12 degrees, because it is when Babylon are working these things out, they make everything symmetrical, but it's not symmetrical. You know, that 1 degree is the Christ. You know, that 1 degree difference is the measurement of God, you know, the 72 degrees. You see? Or the 72 years, I should say. You know, 1 degree is 72 years. So 1 degree difference here is 72 years, you know. So
Wow.
this is
Hold on. You see, you not easy. This is it. So this is not a straight line.
no, it's not a straight line. This is 11 degrees, right?
Yes. But,
And this is 12 degrees.
of course,
One is
yes,
12
yeah. But it just give you the straight. So when you said one is 12 and one is 11, my first thought was, how's that possible? But then it's
Yeah,
not a straight line. It's like slices, angles, pardon me.
yeah, because don't forget, I've measured the Shabaka stone. You see, I'm not just doing it, I'm measuring each arm of the Shabaka stone, which has given me this. You see, this is like I call this the temple of this is the temple, you know, this one. This is the temple. You see this in the middle let me show you what the temple is. Hold on. Let me show you what the temple is. the temple in the Shabaka Stone, right, is
Pastor Jennings need to talk to you, man.
the temple, my brethren, is this. This is the temple. You see this here? This is the temple of Isis, you know, right? This here is in the so that measurement I've just showed you there, this is the temple of Isis. That is the actual temple of Isis, what I've just shown you, you know.
Yes, yeah, man.
It's come from this measurement here, right? And this temple of Isis, you see now in Lalibela, they've got 11 churches plus the female church, right?
Yes.
The nunnery. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the church and the female church.
Wow.
You see, that's the one in the middle. You see, so this is the Shabaka Stone, but the Shabaka Stone is the Jerusalem or brought down from heaven, right? So this is the measurements of the Ark of the Covenant, right? So I just want to say that generally, I mean, I could take you in a much deeper and give you a much bigger understanding of it, but I want to I want to concentrate on showing you how in the Ethiopian praise of worship, how this is relevant, right? And how His Majesty has used it. This is what I really want to come forward and show the item, that His Majesty has taken this, because this is much deeper. I can go into a lot more mathematics. As you can see, I've got it all written there. And what I will say, that Shabaka Stone goes to 17,300 BC. Let me tell you how I've got to 17,300 BC. Circle 2, the angles between the ribs 1 and 3, right? So we're dealing with the power of the Trinity. Now we've got of that mastaba, we've got 84 degrees, 84 length, and we've got 116 degrees, right? And we've got 3 121s. We've got it is 360 degrees divided by 3 gives you 120. But as they are points of beginning, they always have a +1. Why they have a +1 is like when you're born. You're not one until you've been on the earth for 12 months and before you come 1 year.
Yeah.
So this is the same principle. Yes. So when you've got a beginning, a 0 point, it will add 1. So 120 will become 121, because it is a point of beginning. So there with the mathematics, right? We've got the height of 84 units, and we've got 116 degrees, but we've also got the 121. So if we multiply 116 by 21, we get 14,036, right? And then we've got the width, the bottom distance, right? That is the height of the mastaba. Let me show you the mastaba. This is the mastaba measurement, right? So let me just show you again so we're clear. Right, we're dealing with the mastaba. Okay, this is what we're dealing with here, right? This is the mastaba here, which is what Imhotep has given us, right? So these are the measurements. So it is 84 units. This length here is 84, right? And the measurement of the degrees here is 116 degrees. If we measure, each of these angles here, you see I've measured all the angles. They're 116 degrees. But we know from the top to the bottom, or from this 120 to the next 120, right? It's 121. So we've done the multiplication and I've put them together, and then I've measured this one is 51 degrees by 64. So do you see there's 51 by 64? I add them together, multiply them together, and then add them together, and it gives us 17,300, right? So this is 17,300 BC. Now, to prove that I'm correct in my mathematics, right? I can take you to the, I'll take you to this chart, which I made for the, right. Now, this is the zodiac. This is the 12 zodiac, right? You've seen that before, Priest Isaac. You remember I've showed you that before when I did a presentation. But here is the table.
Definitely.
Right, this is the table. Now we've said I've just showed you we've got 17,300 BC. Is it relevant? Is it correct? Can we cross check it? Yes, we can. Because here, look, 17,309 BC. This is the male Sirius star, which is called Sopdet. This is the female Sirius star. These are the measurements that I've taken of them, you know, and it all adds up to 26,300, 26,033 years, the elder birth, 26,142 years. You know, I can't explain it to you now, family, but believe me, this is absolutely accurate. You know, this is scientifically accurate stuff, which has come from this Shabaka Stone and the Ark of the Covenant, right? So, as I can say, 17,309, right? And we got 17,300. Now, when Manetho, the Egyptian at the time of the Ptolemies, when they came into Egypt, Manetho, who the Western people say he's talking mythology and he's talking about mythological kings, etc. He said in 300 BC, when he was teaching in the time of when the Ptolemies, after Alexander the Great, went into Egypt, he said that the Egyptian kings went back 17,000 years from when he was there in 300 BC. So 17,000. He was there at 300 BC, 17,000 years back. He's perfect. Look, here we are, scientifically perfect. Manetho was right. Manetho was a priest astronomer who taught the Greeks, right? So we've got it perfect here. And also, you see it's number 11 and 12, line 11 and 12. Well, you see there at 12 and 13, look, you've got 72 degrees, 72. You see, we've got that 1 degree. You see that 1 degree movement there? It's there in the science. So this stuff is, I'll bring anybody to challenge this, you know, I mean, it's just perfect mathematics. So I'll leave that there because that's enough just to give you a background, because now I want to talk about the Ethiopian theology in the church, where they say, right, there's a book that I have. I'm going to put this down. There's a book that I have.
We're coming back to the Stilla, right?
Sorry?
We coming back to the Stilla?
Well, the Stella is the foundation of this, right? The Stella
okay, just asking.
Of this Shabaka Stone. I mean, I think I've demonstrated that triangle and this mathematics is to do with the Shabaka Stone, right?
But with the Ark of the Covenant. So what is the Ark? The portrayal or the actual stone, or is it the Shabaka Stone that is the Ark?
The Ark is that triangle. This is the golden triangle.
Okay.
You see the golden triangle?
Yes,
you hear them talk about a golden triangle? This is it.
Okay.
So
it's not the falling obelisk itself that's the ark then. I just wanted to be clear for even the audience.
Well, it is the depiction on the fallen obelisk, the depiction of that. Do you want me to bring it back up?
Yeah, please, because you know we have people that are just joining and everything.
Yeah. Okay, well, the depiction of this ark, this depiction,
right,
of the ark, you can see it's an ark. Look, it's a ship. You can see that's like a ship of Noah. You see, it's an ark.
Yeah.
Right. This ark, this golden triangle is the knowledge of the Ark of the Covenant. This is the hidden knowledge of the Ark of the Covenant. This, because as I said, the Ethiopian church has got three positions of power. There's the Makdas, which is the Holy of Holies, which is this triangle, the knowledge of this triangle. We can come through, we don't have to come through the door of the church, we can come in the roof. Right? We don't have to come through the east gate, west gate, south gate, or north gate. We can come through the roof. Because God's given I and I this knowledge. This is the Ark of the Covenant. This is the measurement of the Ark of the Covenant. And I don't know if the item can really grasp what I'm saying. This is the knowledge of the Ark of the Covenant. This triangle, the golden triangle.
The golden triangle and the mastaba.
And the mastaba, because the mastaba is 12. The mastaba is, why is the mastaba there? That is Imhotep. We're translating Imhotep's work, Imhotep, the ancient great architect of the world. We're actually interpreting his work, So what I was saying about this, as the foundation of the Church of Ethiopia, they have the Makdas, which is the Holy of Holies.
Yeah.
Then they have the Kidist, right, which is the inner circle, the inner sanctification, where they give only the priest can go here. In the inner sanctuary, in the Kidist, the people that can't go there they only come there where they come on the outside of it, which is called the Keni Mahalet, which is the Keni is the knowledge. Keni is higher knowledge. In the Ethiopian language, Kene is a higher knowledge of the language, a higher meaning of language, nuance, nuance in language. And this is called the Kene Mahalet. And the outer, that is where the people stand in the churchyard. And then they come up to the Kidist and they take the sacrament, right? Where they give them they give them the Eucharist, the body and the blood of Christ. And then the outer wall is called the Ketera. See, so we've got here we've got the dimensions of the church. We've got the formation of what the churches are, how they're building them, even though they're building them round. It's like squaring a circle. This is the idea of squaring a circle, because this golden triangle is the Ark of the Covenant. This is the knowledge of the Ark of the Covenant.
And I
can prove now that His Majesty.
But before you go too far, I see you speak of it being a mastaba, and this actually looks like the Zoja literal pyramid, which is a mastaba on top of a smaller mastaba on top of a smaller mastaba. As I observed. Just put that in.
A step pyramid. It's a step pyramid, right?
Step pyramid. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. But please continue. Continue. Just wanted to highlight, just for clarity for the audience. I wanted to highlight.
Yes, sir. So this is
very deep vibes.
Yeah. So that is what we're talking about here. This is the mathematics of that. This is the decipherment of the Shabaka Stone, which has given us the mastaba and that Ark of the Covenant. The measurements, and I said it's given us 17,300 BC. Well, what is it? It's giving us a solar eclipse. This is actually a solar eclipse of the sun, right? At 17,300 BC. This is what it is giving us, because where they come. Okay, let me show you. Have I got another picture? I haven't put up the picture, but what this is, family, is what I haven't got. I didn't bring the picture. I didn't bring the picture out, and if I try and bring it out now, I don't want to try. But if you can imagine that this now, why I say it's a total eclipse of the sun, because when you see the sign of the Pisces, the Pisca, whatever it is, that name where you've got the measurement across the measurement across the vertical, the horizon, you will see that there will be a difference in the line of, if you've got two things together, there will be the brightness of the sun actually shines through on the north, on the west east axis. There'll be a little shining of light either side, if you could imagine. Well, I'm sorry that I didn't bring it out, but what it is, this is the elliptic. You know, the difference in the two circles is in the elliptic, not in the horizon. It's in the actual elliptic. You'll see that it's actually two wheels together. I'm sorry that I didn't bring it out to show you, but this gives you the idea of it. Even this little arrow that I'm putting here, it gives you the idea that elliptic, you know, the difference of the two circles is in this elliptic measurement, not in the ecliptic measurement. You know, in this bit here, it's actually in the elliptic measurement, because it is a total eclipse of the sun. That is actually what it is. You know, and I've got so much more I can tell you about that. Even to bring it up to the Battle of Adwa, I can show you the eclipses, how it even why Babylon went against Menelik on the date that they went, in the year that they went. I can show you mathematically why they did it through this, but I can't do it right now.
Yeah, I know that would be for next time. But what you say? So there was an eclipse on the Battle of Adwa, though?
Well, there was one in 1668, right? There was one in 1668. And if you do the mathematics with this 19,000 years, you know, this, where I've said it's a 19,000 year cycle, a 19-year cycle, and in an order of magnitude, it's 19,000 years, you know, like a 19-year cycle of the moon. And then there's a 19,000 year cycle, right? Well, then the 19,000 year is just an order of magnitude of the 19. You know, because these things are all uniform.
But then the moon is 19.1. So would that magnitude be 19,100?
Yes, but we can actually, it would be 19,100. Yes, but Meton, the Greeks say it's 19,458. Well, then from 2020, you remember when I came on your program, Russ, and I said there was a solar eclipse at Lalibela? I don't know if you remember.
Definitely.
When there was a solar eclipse at Lalibela in 2020, that actually gave us the perfect measurement of this one at 17,300 to the one at 19,320. And it actually gave us a measurement of 19,320 years, I think. You know what I mean? It sort of was perfectly balanced between the 19.1 of this African measurement and the 19.58 of the 458 of the Greek measurement, the European measurement. So we actually found we found the what would we call it? The central of the two measurements. You know, we found the center of it. In physically, because we could measure it from 19,000. It worked out to be 19,320 years. But yeah, it's fantastic. Actually, it's really big stuff. But what I want to show you now, I want to go into now the idea of the Ethiopian calendar, right? Because I can show you now, if we go back to the King's list and go back to Ori, right? When we go back to King Ori, this now comes into the real nitty-gritty of the church, right? What they're telling us. Not to say that they're wrong, but we're just saying we know what you're talking about. And if you're telling us that Haile Selassie, Kadamawi Haile Selassie, is not the Almighty, I think we give you a question about that, because we got this as well. This is what they have in the church, and this is what I have also. So I want to come now with the story of this book here, Finding of the True Cross and Epiphany. This is the most powerful book I've ever had in my life. This is all of the machinations of the work of the church, how it works, right? Now, if you see here, this tribe of Ori, you'll see the year of the world. Let me make it a bit bigger, right? You see the year of the world. The year of the world is 1030. You see that? This is the time of Ori at 4470, right? And he was on the throne for 60 years. So he was on the throne from 4530 BC, right? But this 1,030 years here, year of the world, that means before Ori came on the throne, there was 1,030 years of unknown kingship, right? But somehow they've measured this 1,030 years, which gives us 5,500. You know, if we add 1,030 to 4,470, it gives us 5,500, right? But actually, if we was actually to measure this properly, it would be 5,530 because he actually reigned for 60 years. But I'll just, so now they say, I'm going to read you out of this book, right? This book here is the heart of the knowledge of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church or the Ethiopian Tewahedo Church, right? And it's talking about a time of the Meta Feeder, right? And the creation of the world. This is in the Ethiopian book here. The creation of the world, which is how they say the year of the world and the creation of the world. They called it Tineta Alem, right? Is 5,500 BC, as I was saying here, right? Which up to 2,000 of the Ethiopian calendar is 7,750 years. That's what he's saying, you know. So when it was the millennium that we all went to Ethiopia to celebrate, the Ethiopian millennium, it was 7,750 years in 2000, in the year 2000 of the Ethiopian calendar, right? Which was 2008 of the Babylon calendar. Now, this claim, this is what this book says. This claim is supported by the genealogical accounts of the Bible, commencing from the first date of creation of the world, which is believed to be on Sunday, Megabit 29. Megabit is the month of March, right? Megabit 29. Megabit 29 would be about the 20th of March, which would actually be what? The spring equinox. Right? To the sixth date, right? So it's to believe to be on Sunday, Megabit the 29th, to the sixth date in which Adam was created. Since the Redeemer Christ was not born, the entire 5,500 years are called years of misery, which are a metafida kunanani. However, the years after the birth of the Lord are known as years of mercy, a meta meheret. Now, don't forget, you know, His Majesty's Church in Ajersagodo is called what? Kidani Meheret, the covenant of mercy, right? Sure. So it's depicting God's mercy to all human races through the deeds and grace of Jesus Christus. This is according to the Ethiopian book of the church. So we've got the 5,500 years. We're not playing with this thing here. It's the church is telling us. It's saying up until before the time of Christ, it was called the time of misery. And then Christ came and set everything straight at 5,500 years after the creation of the world, which gives us 0 BC, right? Which gives us 1 BC to 1 AD gives us 0. Gives us 0, right. So here we are now. We've come to 5,500 years, right?
That's zero you're talking about now, that 1 B, yeah. that one AD, we chip up that in certain.
Yeah. Now you see, yeah. So you see here, what we have here is 5,500. You see, before Christ, Bazen. This is who was on the throne over the 0. You know, 1 BC to 1 AD. This brother, the king Bazen, was on the throne. He was on the throne for 17 years totally. He was on there 8 years before Christ, and 8 years before allegedly Christ was born, and 9 years after Christ was born. So that is 5,509 years, right? Now, if we go back to the science of what I was teaching about the science of the Shabaka Stone, I'm going to run through it quickly because have we got time, Russ? Are we doing good for time?
Yeah, well, honestly, maybe next 10 minutes.
Right, 10 minutes. Okay, okay.
You go ahead, Lord.
Well, if I can tell you that he, doing the mathematics of, I'm just going to talk this, I'm not going to show it because I haven't got time, but doing the mathematics of the Shabaka Stone, which is 11 ribs, I'm going to show it up as I talk to it, is 11 ribs, which takes 26,000 years approximately to make a cycle. Where's my Shabaka Stone? All right, it's on this book. Right, hold on. Right, let's go back to the Shabaka Stone. I'm going to just do it. I'm not going to write, I'm going to just do this as quick as I can because we've only got 10 minutes, right? So there is the Shabaka Stone. It's got 11 ribs. That takes 26,000 years to make a cycle. Now, 26,000 divided by 11 comes to 20, there's 2,363 length of a month. If these are months in a great year, there's 11 of them in 26,000. So 11, 2,363 comes to 25,993. It's just 7 short. It's 7 years short of 26,000. It's 25,993. That there is 25,993. Now, so each month is 2,363 years. So 2 months, and why did 2 months together give us 4,732 years? Why I say that is because 2 months that stay together is the month of Ptah and Atum. Ptah and Atum must stay together at all times because they share the houses. Because why they share the houses of the zodiac is because if he was going to change them into the 12, why they share them is because if it was 12 into 360 gives you 30 degrees. Well, the length of the atom, the Leo, the lion, is greater than, look, here's the lion. Look how big the lion is. Look, you see, here's the lion, and this is Cancer. This is Atom. This one is Atom, this one here, and this one is the Leo. Well, they are sharing 2 sections of, they're both sharing 2 sections. This is why when they say that God the Father and God the Son were with together before the creation of the world, this is where they're together, because they're sharing the same houses. There's 2 houses into one, which is the Atum, Ptah and Atum. They are together because Ptah is the creation man, and these are together, Ptah and Atum. So this is why they're together all the time. This is the idea of God the Father and God the Son. This is why they tell you Christ was with God before him even come to earth, and him don't get this.
And the lion Leo represent Ptah, right? You were saying.
Yes. No, Ptah is the Cancer. Ptah is Cancer. Atum is the Leo. Atum is Leo, and Ptah is Cancer. So these 2 are together. This is father and son. The father is Ptah, the creator, and the son is Atum. So these are together at all times. So that will give us 4,732. Now, the number of the Great Sphinx, right, is called, Rihorakta or Riharakata, however you want to pronounce it, Riharakata or Raharakata. He is known as the 363. The reason he's known as the 363 is because if you take 363 from 4,732, you get 4,363. 4,363 is the number of panels which are built around the wall of the Saqqara complex by Imhotep.
Yes.
So this is why we've got the 4,363, because that So the 363 is the pearl, is the seed, is the number of the divinity. 363. So if we've got 25,930, if we've got 25,993, take away 4363 gives us 21,630. Now that is what we have there is the number of the 10, you know, before, like the number of Atlantis, you know, there was the 10 islands of Atlantis, there's the 10 lost tribes of Israel. This is the lost knowledge. It's the knowledge of the 10, because how it becomes 10 is because where I've just told you that mathematics, 21,630 divided by 10, we're talking about orders of magnitude in this science, gives us 20, it gives us 2,163. 21,630 reduced by the magnitude of 10 gives us 2,163. So we've got the length of the age being 2,163 years of the 10 paradigm, because how it becomes 10, this is the idea of Adam giving a rib to Eve. Because if you imagine this now, they're using the 12 zodiac, right? How would you get this to be a 12 zodiac? You would take you would repeat this stone, right? Let's make another stone, which is the other tablet of Moses, right? Now we've got 2 tablets of Moses. We take one of the ribs, so we've got 2 tablets of Moses, both having 11, right? We take one of the ribs from this 10, from this 11, and we give it to this one here and make 12, right? So there's 12 ribs now, which belongs to the quadrennial reckoning. So as we've given one of the ribs from Adam to Eve, which is the lunar reckoning, this has only got 10 now, because we've taken one and given it to make 12. You know what I'm saying? So we've got 10. So we've found the lost knowledge. We've got the 12 zodiac and we've got the 10 zodiac, right? Because we've taken one of these ribs of Adam, the male, and given it to the female, the solar to the lunar. We've given them a rib, right? So this is the story in the Bible, family. May I tell you, right? So, and I will just show you this. I will just show you just some. I just hope I've got time to do this, my brethren.
Yeah. No, the clock.
Yeah, I just want to show you the 10 ribs. Right, I want to show you. Where's that book here? Right. Right, let me just tell you what page is that.
And while you're looking for that, let me encourage everyone again to register for, remember, tomorrow, the 17th of March, is our International Homeschool Enrollment Party. So now is your chance, yourself and your young ones. It's going to be a blast. We're actually here preparing for that. So we're looking forward to everyone. Yes, my brother. Pardon me.
Yes, beloved. Yes, I'm going to just show you this. I just must show you this. This is coming out of Gerald Massey, right? Because don't forget, I've showed you now. We've taken one rib from Adam and we've given it to Eve, right? We've taken one from the solar system and given it to the lunar system.
Which book is this, Genesis? Which book is this?
This is from the Book of the Beginnings, Volume 1. The Book of the Beginnings, Volume 1, right? And this is right, 15, right, yeah, right, okay. Listen to this. This comes from this. Let me make this a bit smaller. This comes from the Book of the Beginnings by Gerald Massey. This is exactly what we've found here, family, right? Listen to this. The Egyptian paradise of Hetep is mapped out in 10 divisions, in 10 divine domains, which correspond to the heaven in 10 divisions. These 10 divisions were lost or superseded like the 10 islands of the lost Atlantis when the zodiac of 12 signs was finally established. And naturally, there would be 10 populations lost, as in the Assyrian deluge. It follows that the 10 tribes of Israel who preceded the 12 were lost at the same time and in the same way, the legend being one as astronomical, wheresoever met in the margin. Wheresoever met with in the margin. There is a tradition that they will be found again in the Aru Hatep, or Jerusalem above, the promised land, which they attained at last. In the Ethiopic conflict of Matthew, it is said that the 10 tribes feed on honey and drink of the dew. The water we drink is not from springs, but from the leaves of the trees growing in the garden. These were they who passed in death like all the rest across the waters into a farther country where mankind never dwelt, because it was in the spirit world. This is from 2 Ezra chapter 13, verse 40 to 42, right? So family, we have found the lost knowledge of heaven. This is why we don't have to die to go to heaven. We just have to live in Kodamari Haile Selassie's power, because we've found this. We've found the 10 tribes. We found the 10 tribes of Israel, and it's in the Ark of the Covenant. This is the Ark of the Covenant we're dealing with. You know, see it. So we've found the promised land. So we just have to now just follow Kodamari Haile Selassie. You know, it's done, because we've got this. This knowledge is it. This is what Babylon is killing one another for. We have it. Rastafari, Kodamari Haile Selassie has given I this knowledge. You know, we found the 10 tribes. We found the Jerusalem above. And when it says that they feed on the tree and the honey and drink of the dew, what we're dealing with there is the tree of life. We're dealing with the pole of the earth. Them say Christ was hung on a tree. They put him on a cross, but if you read in the Acts of Apostles, he was hung on a tree. This is the tree they're talking about. This tree here, which gives us honey and drink of the dew. The water we drink is not from springs, but from the leaves of the trees growing in the garden. The garden of what? This is Zion, you know. This is it. So I have found it. And this idea of Adam and giving the rib and all of those things, it's the science of the wheel, these 2 tablets of Moses. You know, see it. So have I got a chance, Russ, just to go on and just show you out of the 5,500 has been used by His Majesty, the 5,500 years? Do I have time?
Yes, King, yes. Go through.
Yeah, well, the 5,500 years, as I showed the item from the beginning of the world, right, until the time of Christos, is a specific value. You know, it's called a metapheda, right? Well, as I showed the item, I used the Shabaka Stone and I divided it by 11, and it gave us 2,363 years per 1 month. 11 months of 2,363 years. If we divide that 2,363 years by 5, it gives us 787.
You still have the same thing showing on the screen. I don't know if that's what you wanted to show.
Do you want me to show it?
Well, I'm just telling you, I'm not too sure.
Sorry, what did you say, Russ?
No, you're showing the very same article that you had with the Egyptian paradise of Hetep.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, I'm only talking there. I'm not really trying to show.
Fair enough.
But I can show. I can 787. Okay. Let me show you 787. I've got it written down. But anyway, those 787 years. Do you remember when I was showing you the steps going down into King from 1959 to King Lalibela, then 1959
Yes.
from King Lalibela, it was another 787 years down to the 4th century when Christianity was allegedly given to Ethiopia, and then you spread another 787 years, and you go back to when just before Alexander the Great came to Ethiopia, to Egypt. You remember that, Russ, when I was showing you? Yeah, well, that's 787 years, right? If we multiply 787, by 7, it gives us 5,509. Right? 787 is 5,509. Exactly the same value there, Russ. What is from the beginning of the creation of the world to the King Bazen, right? I'll show the eye again, right? 5,509 years. You know, see it? See him here? This is from him to his reign over Christ to when it ended. 5,509 years. That is 787 times 7. Them 7 steps, right? And they're the 7 mountains. They're the you know, oh man, there's just so much in it. You know, there's so many things that can be shown. But if we just go back to now, when His Majesty brought the church from under the Coptic church and brought it to be autocephalous, which it, with the item, if they don't know what I'm talking about, if you go to the program that I was with the Honorable Priest where we spoke about Johannes, is he a villain or is Johannes a villain?
Yeah, the previous one.
Yeah, and the previous one, and the last 20 minutes of it, roughly, I'm talking about when His Majesty made the church autocephalous and gave the church the victory cross, and the Abuna was talking to His Majesty like he was the Almighty himself. Well, that is 1959, you know, when His Majesty signed the final document. Now, if we measure 5,509 years from 1959, when His Majesty made the church fully autocephalous, when he'd given them the cross of victory, when they'd got temporal and spiritual well-being for the first time in the Ethiopian history, according to the Abuna, when His Majesty did that. If we measure back 5,509 years from then, right, 1959, it takes us back to, let me get this out of the way. It takes us back to, in the Ethiopian king list. Oh, come on, get out of the way. Right. It takes us back in the Ethiopian king list to, it takes us back to 3,500 BC. Right? And in the time of 3,000, like we've gone back, see this here? This brother here, Hogeb, is the only king in the Ethiopian king list who's ruled for 100 years. Everybody's got shorter reigns, got 30 reigns, 40 reigns, 50, 60, 3 days, all that. The only one with 100 is this Hogeb. Right? Now, this is where, if we measure back 5,509 years from when His Majesty made the church autocephalous, it comes back to this brother's reign here, King Hogeb, right?
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Well, look, and before he reigned was 72 years.
I see.
Let me just bring up the triangle. So you can see what I'm dealing with.
Some different vibes here.
Let me just bring up the triangle. Right. Before Erie, right, we've got 100 across here. The hypotenuse of the triangle is 100. The only 100 years in this Ethiopian king list is King Hogeb, right? 100 years.
Yes.
The one before him reigned for 72 years. Oh, look what we got here. 72 years.
72 years.
And one reign after him reigned 70 years. Look what we got here. 70 years.
Yeah, man, you can lock down, you can just shut down the whole show right there, man. That's a knockout. Anybody that battling you, they can throw in the towel. The referee can stop the match, right?
Rastafari lives, my brethren. Rastafari lives. His Majesty has wielded 5,509 years. Now, who is Hogeb? Well, if we go now to the Egyptian Enid, right? Because Ho is like a Ho. In the Hebrew, and Ho is an actual. My brethren actually told me what it means, but I can't remember. Ho has got a special meaning, you know. Ho, and Geb is the earth god, right?
Of course.
Because here we have the earth god, and then after him, look, just a couple 100 years after him now, where we've got the golden triangle, we've got Solomon. right? Yeah, see him here? Solomon.
Lehman.
You see, this is 3,000, when he came off of the throne, 3,244 BC, right? So here we have the knowledge of the power of, this is Solomon's temple, right? Here's the ark, here's the ark of power here, and here is Solomon, right? So how we work that out, family, I don't know. When I say I don't know how we work it out, I'm just showing the item, the science. But how the story fits into this thing, I don't know, brethren. You know, because I've got an idea. I know how, Solomon, how the Queen of Sheba in 1000 BC became linked to him is because it's 2000, like 1000 BC, like we've got an age between them. You see, she was born 1013, and we've got 2000, just over 2000 years, 2100 and odd years between them. You see what I mean?
Of course.
And His Majesty built 2100 churches during his reign, by the way. We're dealing with science, brethren, so well, I think I've done enough to show the idea. I mean, I've got so much more, even like the bandlet of righteousness, the Ethiopian book of the book of life, the Ethiopian book of life, the bandlet of righteousness. I'll bust that up as well, brethren. May I tell you? I brought all the age science out of it.
So you're telling me somehow this Soliman mystically is linked or the Soliman that Makeda would have touched base with?
Well, because Russ, it's the spiritual marriage. It's not a physical something, brethren. It's a spiritual marriage, brethren. Like how in Africa, where how the kings are married to the deity, is the same thing.
Yeah,
That's my take on it, Russ. I mean, this is just, that, look at the triangle, and there we've got the golden triangle there with Ho-Geb, and Geb is the earth god. And if I show you the Enid, let me explain it to the eye then. Let me just explain to you about the earth god. Where's the Enid? See it there? See this here? Right. Let me make this bigger.
True.
How do I make it big? Oh, that's big anyway. Oh, what about that?
The wrong thing. It was there all the way.
Yeah, I've took it off.
You guys had it done a different coverage. But yeah, you're showing the inner of
yeah, the of Kemet. All right. So near, look, we've got Atum. Atum is at the top. Well, where is Ptah? We know Ptah is the creator, right?
Yeah.
But he's one with the creator, so they don't have to show him. Right? You see Shu and Tefnut?
Yeah.
This is the Menfes Kedush, this is the Holy Spirit, male and female. This is the Holy Spirit. So because what we've got is the three men of the Trinity. We've got Ptah, the creator, Atum, the son, and then we've got the son of Atum, which is Geb. You see, you see him have the bird on his head. This is the Holy Spirit, because he's received the Holy Spirit from these. Shu Tefnut is the Menfes Kedush. This is the Holy Spirit. This is the male and female spirit. These are not actually bodies. Like this is a body, this is a body. So these are the three men of the Trinity, right here. There's Ptah, Atum, and Geb, which is Ho-Geb in the Ethiopian king list. You see, and this is the Menfes Kedush, the Shu Tefnut. And if you know what Shu Tefnut means, Shu is the air, Tef is the seed, and Nut is the water. What if we get the air, the seed, and the water? What does it make from Tef? Injera, the bread of heaven. Injera is Ethiopian bread. This is it, man. See it, the spiritual bread, the manna from heaven. This is it. Shu Tefnut. Tef is a god. If you look into ancient Kemet, Tef is the god. He's the god of grain. Tef is the most beautiful grain in the world, the most, full of iron and everything, the most powerful grain that you can use. That's what the Ethiopian people live. You think Ethiopian women have menstrual problems like people in the West here? They don't, because of the Tef. Yeah, tell you. So here is Shu Tefnut, there is Injera. This is the bread of heaven, the spiritual loaf, you know, the manna. And here is Ptah, Atum, and Geb. So now we've got the three males of the Trinity, because this is the Aya Evan. And then through the woman now, this is Mariam, is passed down into the four corners of the earth. You see? And then there is again another younger Horus. This is the elder Horus. This is the elder Horus, you know. Geb is the elder Horus. This is the younger Horus. I tell you. This is Jesus Christus. This is the original God. You know, this is the original Christ. This one here, Geb. And you see him in the Ethiopian king list. So we're now a ramp. So here he is. Ho Geb. That's him. See him there, the only one with 100 years. And if I show you back to the triangle, right? I'll just show you that it's proof. How that is proof of the Enid. What we just showed you there is the Enid. What did I just say? I'm going to prove to you. Oh, right. Yes.
Back
Yes.
to the triangle, the Enid.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So the 100, you know, is to do with the female, is split into four. So it's the 4 quarters. The 425s are in this 100. You see, this 100 is the 425s, which gives us the 4 beings under Geb. You see the 4, you know, that is Isis, Osiris, Isis, Seth, and the other one. I can't think of the other female name with Seth.
Nefti.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you know what I'm talking. But you know, like this is the origin of all religion, my family. You know, so whatever they're going to tell you, it's not that we're trying to make it that it's not true, but like this is the root of it, because we've found the Ark of the Covenant. You know,
Yes.
this is the Ark of the Covenant, and I think if anybody wants to dispute that, make we draw our swords and make we fight.
Well, my
Yeah.
Lord, give thanks, you know.
Yes, family.
It was a very serious, heavy one without a doubt. Of course, it's just true we have to prepare for another session there, but I'm telling you, I give thanks to this one for sure. And, you know, I think it was definitely clear. It's something you'd have to review, especially those who came in late. Is not something that you could say. You can make me the host again also, brother. You know,
Okay.
those who maybe would have come in late is not something that you could say, oh, well, I missed it. You don't miss it. It's right here. You could go and revisit it from the beginning, because I mean, it's definitely a lot of mathematics and some geometry and again, the whole aspect of the Shabaka Stone, and even how the good brother began with the fallen obelisk, the fallen phallic of Geb, fallen phallic of Osiris, the fallen phallic of Osiris. So, yes, my Lord, I give thanks again for such a meditation. And you don't know, Sunday the 24th, we definitely will be doing this on a next level. And, you know, I would have to surely review what I have here even before I make my presentation. Well, any sealing words you want to leave with the family?
Family, well, what I would just love to see with is that we're in the fast now of the Great Lent fast, which began on the 11th of March in the Ethiopian Tewahedo faith. The 11th of March was the 10th of March was which was one megabit. The first megabit, the month of 1 megabit, was a new moon. So the fast began just after the new moon, like the day after the new moon, it began. And the fast is going to finish on the 5th of May, which is going to be Fasika, when they're going to say, Jesus Christus has risen. You know, when they say in the church, they say, Christ has risen, you know, as the Christians say, Christ has risen. Well, on that day, on the 5th of May, is His Majesty's Victory Day. when His Majesty came back to Addis Ababa and gave the people them the maskal, the victory maskal and the speech of victory of his return. So there we have a conjunction of Pasika and His Majesty's Victory Day and a lunar eclipse on the same day. So it's a trinity of power on that day. And when the story of Jesus Christus, we can now put him to bed, because now His Majesty is rising in the victory with the power of Jesus Christus. This is the rising, So family, I spread the power and love of Kadamawi Haile Selassie and Empress Menenai, perfect balance. And I pray the item can begin to grasp this higher knowledge, because it's time, and it's time for I and I to really get together, gather I and I together, turn our back on Babylon system, work together in agriculture, work together in all forms of progress as I and I, because it's just time. Time is the master, and time will be disaster if you don't care. Haile Selassie, Jah.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Yes, Father, give thanks. Time is a master, and time will be disaster. Yeah, I like that one. Blessed love, eh? Yes, my Lord. Give thanks, Brother Seifa Selassie, and of course, family, just reminding you, I'm talking about tomorrow. I'm talking about the 17th of March. Make sure that you register now. The link is in the description below the video. Registration is free. And of course, your young ones, it's going to be a beautiful session. We're going to have live activities. This is going to be a day that they will remember, and we will be encouraging you and hoping that you will enroll also into the International Homeschool Program when that time comes. But family, give thanks again for your presence. Give thanks for the life giver and the keeper of life. Of course, if you know your Bible and you do not know your history, the knowledge of your Bible will become a mystery. And of course, it takes some realize the real lies that are amongst us. Rastafari lives forevermore. Give thanks, Jah. Rastafari. What is the story behind the Queen of Sheba? What is the truth behind her visit to the great King Solomon? The Ark of the Covenant and the Kebron of Gas. Prepare for an intriguing look at the true history of the Kingdom of Aksum, Lalibela, and the Ark of the Covenant. Join us on the afternoon of Sunday, the 24th day of March, 3 p.m. Eastern Caribbean Time, for the very timely lecture entitled Sheba, Aksum, and the Ark. Admission to this lecture only $20. $15 before the 13th of March. To register and get your online ticket, visit the website priestisaacinstitute.com or email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Be there. Blessed love to all our international homeschool scholars and all who desire to be a part of this wonderful program.
We are having a massive international homeschool enrollment party on Sunday the 17th of March from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Caribbean Time.
We will have special guests, live activities, free gifts for all who enroll, and a free education package for all who register.
To register for free, visit our website at priestisaacinstitute.com or send us an email at priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. The International Homeschool Enrollment Party. See you